You know, it's been a while since we have looked at some girl setups on the show. So with that said, welcome to Setup Wars episode 294, Girl Edition. Now before people get upset in the comment section, like they always do, okay, the reason why I'm doing a separate Girl Edition is for SEO. This makes it very easy for anyone to search for these videos specifically for inspiration, since they have their very own series. So if you're a girl watching and you do have a setup, I encourage you to come on the show. There's a video linked below to show you what to do in order to participate. But yeah, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, sit back and relax, because you know what time it is. Is your setup looking bland, like your grandmother's casserole? Well, spice it up then with a TechSource mousepad. You get a sharp and vibrant print on a very smooth surface with edge-to-edge stitching. And guess what? They're machine washable. Just toss it in a cold cycle for 10 minutes and they are good as new. Pick one up today at dealsource.tech/store or just click my link below. Kicking off the episode is a very nice and cozy setup by Cathrine coming from Winnipeg, Canada. She likes to game and watch content when she is not studying, so she built a setup where she can do it all. This is actually her second time on the show. She was originally featured in episode 223 back in December 7th of 2020, and since then she has made some really nice upgrades. The first thing to notice is that she transitioned over to more white products in the setup. She painted the stand from the main monitor in white and skinned both of the bezels for more consistency. You know, it's crazy how much of an impact something so small does to a setup. She does still have a Red Dragon keyboard, but swapped her black Razer mouse for a white G305. Speaking of skinning, she also wrapped her Gobi light bars in white, which came out looking amazing, but I wonder why she stopped at the speakers. They do make the Logitech Z200s in white, in case you didn't know, but I'm sure you could easily wrap them in white since you're really good at it, unless you want to keep the contrast from it. Looks like she did pick up a new microphone and boom arm combo and upgraded her Arctis One headset to a Corsair Void RGB headset that she keeps underneath the desk. Cables were managed very well last time, and this time is no exception. Very impressive work with the cable routing underneath the desk and to the back of the IKEA shelf. It's actually very impressive she was able to keep the same space and just add on to it without making it seem cramped. If anything, the setup looks more complete this way. The PC powering it all has the same specs, but she did swap the AIO for the Galahad 240, which looks much nicer in there and complements the rest of the setup a lot better. Also, a quick little tip, if you want to throw in more white colors in there, you can wrap the SSD. Very clever hiding the RGB strip using some of your collectibles, by the way. This might fool a lot of people, but it doesn't fool me. Hey, if you can't see it, you can't complain, right? But yeah, overall, very nice improvements from last time. Thank you for coming back on the show. Coming at number 2 is technically a couple setup, but we're going to focus on the girlfriend setup the most, which is on the right. We got ourselves a stacked monitor setup with an ultra-wide as the main and a 27-inch flipped upside down for the overhead. The setup is mostly used for gaming and schoolwork, and it took Jackie about 8 months to get the setup to this point. I do love how the custom wrapping on the IKEA countertops came out, by the way. It gives the setup a unique look, and it's such a cool and easy way of altering the design of the desk. So my advice for anyone that's picky on buying a countertop, just find the size that works for you and wrap it however you like. This way you get the color and design that you want while protecting your desk from scratches and damages over time. Jackie's rocking a modded KB67 light keyboard with an Orochi V2 mouse and a matching mouse pad that goes well with the wrapped countertop. For gaming, she does use the HS70 Pros from Corsair, and for general audio, we do have a set of Z200s which are tucked away behind the monitor. I know it looks the cleanest hidden like that, but you're not really taking advantage of the audio. In fact, it probably sounds more like monitor speakers back there. Cable management isn't the prettiest I've seen, but they are technically off the ground, so that's good. And then we got the PC powering it all. It's packing quite the specs with a Ryzen 7 5800X with 32 gigs of RAM and the Vision RTX 3070 from Gigabyte. Sitting pretty in this all-white build inside the O11 Mini Snow Edition case. It's even got a built-in display. What a build. My only critique with the setup is the awkward speaker placement and the extra length from the monitor arm that's just sticking out from the top. Other than those two things, I think the setup looks incredible, and I really love what you did with the wall between both setups, with the Gobi glide bar and the pegboard holding up some of the custom keyboards. Thank you for sharing this with us. Coming in number 3 is Jasmin from Germany and her epic gaming setup that took about 5 months to build. I just gotta start off and say she's got amazing taste in mouse pads. Okay, it looks like she's rocking the black camo and it blends in so beautifully with the setup. I think I'm in love. If you want to be cool like Jasmin, pick one up for yourself over at dealsource.tech/store. You're almost guaranteed to find one that complements your setup. She's rocking dual 27-inch monitors side by side, and below that we got the Roccat Vulcan TKL Pro and a G502 mouse combo. One thing I do like about the setup is the decoration. I think she did an awesome job personalizing it. I haven't seen anyone do something that cool with the RGB clouds, and definitely adds a unique look to the presentation. Even with the adjacent wall, changing up the wallpaper to break that connection with the main setup and the shelves with collectibles and figurines. I feel like it's all done in moderation. For audio, the setup uses a soundbar for watching anime and YouTube, but she swaps over to the JBL Quantum 800s for gaming. Cable management is an easy task due to the giant backboard behind the desk, but I gotta give her some credit for putting an effort to wrap the cables with some Velcro when she didn't really have to. Finishing up with a pretty beefy system inside the ROG Strix Helios. It's packing the Core i9-10900K with an RTX 3070 Ti. Now, I might not have a magnifying glass or anything, but it appears that you are running 2 different pairs of RAM sticks. It's very important that they are running at the same frequency and timings to support XMP and to avoid instability issues. But other than that minor thing, the setup itself is pretty badass. Thank you, Jasmin, for sharing this with us, and thank you for your support on picking up one of my mouse pads. Up next is Kayo, who is also our setup spotlight of the episode for obvious reasons. Kayo is a cosplay content creator from the US who built the setup in the span of 1 year for video and photo editing, watching content, and gaming. Let's first address the elephant in the room, the small, compact, and cramped desk space you got there on the right. I feel like there was way too much focus on personalizing the setup and not enough on the functionality aspect. By all means, pour your heart out and make the setup yours by adding a bunch of RGB strips, figurines, whatever your heart desires, but there's gotta be a limit. You have to organize and plan things out so it doesn't look so imbalanced. You have to focus on your main setup area first because that is the part that matters. That is what you are using the most. Going with an L desk was a great idea, but you're not taking advantage of the corner space at all. It's only being used for decoration. The problem with this setup is the desk. It's not big enough, nor is it optimal. The IKEA Mickey isn't deep enough and it's forcing your monitors to be really close to you. I've always said this in the past. The Mickey desk should not be used for setups unless you plan on mounting the monitors to keep them further away from you. There's just simply not enough desk space. I think for your room, a single 50-inch countertop horizontally with a smaller 29-inch for the corner would have made the most sense and would have given you more room to work with. This will also give you more legroom, since both of the bulky desk legs will be replaced with smaller ones. On top of that, this will give your keyboard and mouse a lot more room to breathe, and your monitors will be at a more comfortable distance without any of them hanging off the desk. You can even move your PC towards the corner and tuck away the cables behind it. I'm not that bothered by the LED strips that you have on the ceiling, but I would eventually make the switch to diffused RGB strips like the one you already have. With just a few changes, the setup can make a complete transformation, not just aesthetically, but in functionality as well, which will promote good posture, and that's very important for the long run. Thank you, Kayo, for sharing this with us. Wrapping up the episode is a cozy little loft bed setup. You know, we don't get that many of these on the show, but honestly, I think they are so underrated. These types of setups are great in space management. If your bedroom is small and can only fit one piece of furniture, going with a loft bed might be a nice solution, as you can use the extra space on the bottom to build a setup or a home office. Vea is a postgraduate intern who's studying to become a medical doctor, so she built herself a setup where she can focus on her studies and game on her spare time. She does everything on the 22-inch monitor and uses the extra 32-inch TV for watching content. It looks like she also stuck to wireless peripherals to keep the desk cable free, and for audio she's got a JBL Charge 3 speaker but swaps to the Galaxy Buds for gaming. The setup is actually powered by a laptop that she keeps on a stand. This way she can easily undock it and take it to school or wherever she goes. Cable management could use a little bit more attention, but overall I think she did an awesome job keeping the setup organized and decorated. It's a nice, cozy little corner setup that makes great use of space. Thank you, Vea, for sharing this with us. As a reminder, you guys can always pick up a cheap Windows CD key for less than $15. Just click on my link below and use the code TS20 for an extra 20% off. Once you get your CD key, just visit the activation settings in Windows and change your product key. It's that simple. And that will do for today's video. As always, make sure you guys comment below. Let me know which of these setups was your absolute favorite. And if you guys are enjoying the series so far, do let me know. Toss a like before you head out. And if you're new here, subscribe, because season 6 is right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so pumped. I am so freaking pumped. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you very soon in the next one.